developer's career, but not only, because before I actually finished philosophy. I'm a Master of Arts of Philosophy here at Warsaw University, and later I studied education for 5 years. I was doing the PhD, but I finished at 5 years of another studies, and finally didn't make the thesis because I was already into programming. And with this educational and maybe more philosophical background, I wanted to organize some thoughts on the developer's career. Although yesterday I had a small pivot that probably I will be talking about something else, but I will tell you later this. But for now on, yeah, that's me. I wanted to check. It's up actually. Yeah, it works. Please follow me if you can. The profile is Twitter, just Piotr _Zientara. And yeah, I'm very into communities. Together with Piotr and Kasia, we run WarsawJS community for over 5 years now. We organized like something exactly 64 meetups and 38 workshops, and all of them are affordable. They are community run, so we have something like a community of 5,000 people, and every month we do with their great help, support of coaches and people who can teach how to do, I don't know, Angular, React, Vue.js, design patterns, everything in JavaScript that can be actually taught and learned. And we do it thanks to our community, and all of you can also participate if you want. That's something what is this community about. And why I'm saying this? Because this gave me a chance to observe how people develop. Because I saw some people who joined the programming community like 5 years ago, and they started like junior or interns, and now they are seniors. Now some of them are seniors. Some of them also deliver talks on our WarsawJS meetups, and some of them also deliver workshops. And this is quite fascinating because when I was joining programming, it was 7 years ago. It was 2013. My friend told me that there is a boot camp. I can polish my programming skills. I had some programming skills before, but I didn't use them professionally, so I learned how to do Rails. And this was something totally amazing, because I was in the educational background and more scholar background, and all people were there totally different. I mean, in IT, they were much more open. They were much more likely to share their knowledge, and you couldn't feel something like jealousy or some kind of approach that maybe they don't want to share too much knowledge, so you don't, improve and know more than them. So here was totally the opposite. The community was so welcoming that it also inspired me to share my knowledge back and to deliver the same good to others. So I'm also participating in, for example, in Rails Girls. Where we teach on 2 days workshops how to code in Rails. And so how do you developers develop yourself? Can you answer? You probably could answer this question in several points, because you do plenty of it. For example, it's 19 minutes. No, it should be 15. Sorry. People, all of you probably do some tutorials. I don't know. Let's make, I don't know, a kind of survey. Who did a tutorial last week? Hands up. Okay, not so many, but who got some mentorship last week maybe, or was mentoring? Okay, and who of you was participating in a workshop for last 3 months? Something like that. Okay, wow. Well, so that's quite a lot, right? Because usually, yeah, that's really a lot. So all of us are active learners and active, maybe also teachers and people who really are also about education. So to me, taking chances in life is very important. So when we learn something, we actually don't know really. We take a risk because we don't know when we are going to use the particular skill, unless we don't learn something while we are doing it. So while we do particular project, right? We can learn how to use particular technology in certain context, but usually when we invest in some longer tutorial, it's like taking chances, and of course it's sometimes a matter of chance if we still can reuse that skill later. For example, I was into Ember in the beginning. In 2015, I paid something like 2 years of experience to learn Ember.js. And it was a kind of niche. It's still paying back, but on some level I got frightened because you know, the most popular frameworks are Vue, Angular, and React, and so I thought, oh, so maybe I should go more into React. So I started to learn React, and from current point of view, maybe it was not the best idea to have this feeling that, oh no, my technology is not that popular, and so maybe I should change it immediately. So it was a mistake from my side. What I wanted to share today also is that we still, as actually in Poland and in Europe, are in a moment that the developers, the group of developers still rise. It has a great it's a great opportunity, and probably we can guess that in current years the group will still rise to the numbers as we have in Germany and England. As you can see, well, in Germany is actually 30% probably more populated than Poland, and here we have a difference of three times of a number of developers, right? Because it's 839,000 people in Germany. I mean, software developers in Germany, and only 2,500 now. 250,000 developers in Poland. And how many years of experience programmers have? Well, they say mostly over 5 years. But this is a question I wanted to ask you also, people at the conference. All of you who have less than 7 years, please raise your hands. Less than 7 years, okay. And now all of you who have more than 7 years or 7 years. Okay. So well, this is interesting because Stack Overflow says that, for example, it's actually here. Front-end developer globally has 7.8. Here I saw that most of you were below 7 or below. So we are probably in the part of world where programmers have less experience. So the industry is more growing in that area. Probably it's mostly because in the United States the average age of a career is higher. So let's go back here. The Stack Overflow survey of 2015 looked like that. Then it was at 17 like this. Unfortunately, the data is not really easy to compare here because we have different scales. But generally the tendency is rather than the years coding professional numbers are rather getting smaller. So that's interesting. Moreover, it's probably very interesting for you that in Poland the average developer age is also smaller. It's like 26, and in the United States 31, and in India 25, so even younger. And we have obviously worse. Which technology is better? Which should we use? Is JavaScript or TypeScript better? Should we go more maybe into TypeScript? And here the survey I was investigating said that actually there is a good reason to write in TypeScript, but yeah, that's probably like, you know, with commas and spaces and tabs that finally it was not the argument that yesterday David Crockford did, that well, we can live without tabs, we can't live without spaces. He said that therefore we should use spaces, but here in this case it might be also you know, totally random. Anyway, the good decisions is to obviously stay and grow in IT. So we are all already on track. We have, of course, plenty of beginners, and that's something I feel we are responsible for. So their beginning is the better is their beginning, the more they can also deliver to our programmers community. And yeah, I still encourage people to join IT and programming. Although I changed my strategy a bit, because when I first joined IT, I was feeling that everyone should have this opportunity and should join IT, but later I realized that some people, because I also influenced them to take the risk, they, you know, paid a lot of money for a boot camp, and then they stayed where they were. So, you know, it was like yeah, maybe not always the best choice. And we are, I think, in a kind of strange situation that no matter what we do, we still do fine. So the potential danger is that we don't know how to develop better, because we really don't have to. So we might, you know, stay in place for 2 or 3 years and nothing bad will happen. No one is going to fire us, so nothing. We're not going to lose anything. How do you develop your skills? Well, obviously people do studies. Many people are against it. They say that they actually are too theoretical, so it's better to do maybe some particular boot camps and self-learning, like the tutorials you do on internet. And one of the best things I really appreciate is that is mentoring, because then you really can organize your thoughts. It's always it's a general assumption of my talk that organized is better than disorganized, and if you don't agree with this, my argument does not make sense. But generally, I think that when we teach other, we organize ourselves, our thoughts, our minds, so that we become also more effective with it. So that's something of mutual help, and cooperation projects like open source projects. Some of you do open source projects? Not many. Well, this is interesting. In Rails community, in Ruby community, usually there are more people into that. Maybe it's a matter of culture. Maybe it's a matter also of persuasive talks, which I'm delivering now. The philosophical question behind my talk is, what is really progress? Because we want to develop. Develop means also progress. What do you want to develop? Do you want to develop your programming skill, or maybe your position in the company, like, you know, senior, mid, or junior, or maybe your income? You can develop obviously your income. There is a dangerous factor here, because someone really intelligently find out that it's always easier to change your work than to get a rise in the company you work for. So there is more dynamic change, and the introduction to projects takes a long time, so it can actually slow down our industry a lot. But communication, Do we care about developing us in communication as the magic factor where everything, which influence everything actually, the communication with client, the communication with the project manager, the people who we are writing the software for. These are actually the people who are communicating with us through the software we deliver. Or maybe generally better life, so work and life balance. So if I work over 8 hours a week, it's I should improve it every day. So yeah, and the cost of progress. Yes, risk of the technology choice. So what I said with Ember, what you may all have a fear about. You choose already JavaScript, you choose already FrontEnd, but there are a lot of different technologies you could focus on. And well, actually that can be a very easy choice, because on the speakers dinner I talked to Tiago, and he suggested me that actually just finding a niche is always a good strategy. You find a skill that you will specialize, so you'll be obviously better than any other programmer or let's say the average programmer. So in this way, you could you could be the expert in the company on regular expressions or on Grid, CSS Grid, which is awesome technology, but it's quite hard to learn like this from scratch. So, and position, on the other side of position we have responsibilities, so we want to balance it too. And when you get more earnings, your boss requires from you more, so you could get stressed. You could also lose your life balance because of it. So that's my questions to you. That's not, there are no good answers. That's we could argue, but we also could accept on something like that there is no good answer. And the career paths can also vary. Uh-oh, I see my time is running out. So I will only leave you with dilemmas. First dilemma, stable development in one company or dynamic changes of environment. So would you prefer to work for a startup, for dynamic changes, or maybe for a big company? What I observe, my friends who work in big companies are really happy with their life standard, but they look for challenges, and and people from small startups are already challenged. They tired of challenges and they look for stable life. So well, you never know. The same question here, and that's something also between risk and between fun. So product, fun, service. Well, maybe more risk. You never know who's going to be the client. And of course, the best is forbidden. This is my 2-year-old son, who is finally can play with the plug. We never allow him, but this was a kindergarten where you could actually have a not working plug and play with it. Why best is forbidden? No one knows. Community story. Yeah. Last thing I wanted to share. So. First, I got the strong support from the Vrook community, and yeah, that was my next step in the company. And the best thing is that I think we all have this feeling of sharing when someone gives to us. So you personally may not be the people who got the reciprocal reaction. You maybe on your goodwill, someone else will benefit from these people who experienced some good from you. So in the long term, the community of programmers will benefit from you now. In the future, even many years after. So we built WarsawJS because we got support in the beginning many years ago, and that was so we could actually say that because someone showed some good a long time ago. Today, many people can also benefit from it. So, yeah. So yeah, I thought that my talk will be informative, but it's not absolutely. It's persuasive. People, I really, I really believe that sharing is something great, and it's one of the strongest and best things we have in IT. So so that's my message to you. Please share. Please let us grow together. And yeah, I have actually. I must refresh because there was a nice message that might be a bit informative. Yeah. Yeah, don't be naive. Use the game theory. So if you try to cooperate and the other side does not want to cooperate, don't cooperate. Cooperate with people who cooperate with you. That's my informative message based on the game theory. If you're more interested about it, look for parrot strategy in game theory. Okay, so that's me. Thank you, Krzysztof, for making this for me, and thank you very much for listening.